The 8 p.m. West Hartford Town Council meeting to order, and we will begin with a roll call. Mr. Davidoff.
Good evening, Madam Mayor. Councilor Blanks.
Present.
Mayor Cant.
Here.
Councilor Cortez.
Here.
Councilor Fay.
Present.
Councilor McGinnis. Councilor Poland.
Here.
Councilor Walters.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Winograd.
Here.
Councilor Dzanowitz.
Here.
All present.
Thank you, Mr. Davidoff. We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we usually reverse the order, so it's a little, okay. We actually are going to start. We have our distinguished chiefs in the audience, and I'm going to ask them to come up and thank you.
Madam Chair, we thank you for your indulgence. Yes, Councilor, Madam Chair, you're looking very funny. But we already said our goodbyes at our last public safety meeting. But at this time, we also want to give you a couple gifts and tokens of appreciation for your sacrifice, dedication. And Councilor Cortez got a little something for you, too. Chief?
All right. So, Councilor Blanks, it's been a tremendous honor to be with you throughout these last 6 years. As the chief is moving through here, we'd like to present you a plaque as he comes forward in honor of your service on behalf of all the men and women from the police and the fire department. So if you'd like to come up, we'd like to get a picture with you if we could and present this to you. So we'll read the plaque out loud, which says, on behalf of the town of West Hartford Police and Fire Departments, we would like to recognize Public Safety Chairperson Carol Anderson Blanks. In recognition and appreciation of your exemplary leadership and dedicated service in overseeing matters related to police, fire, and emergency medical services, we thank you for your many years of commitment to the Public Safety Committee and to the safety and well-being of our community, from Chief Vernon Reddick Jr. and Chief Gregory Priest. There you go.
Got one more thing for you. Hold on. You always got Popo by your side.
Thank you, Chief Riddick. Thank you, Chief Priest, very much. Such a nice, so nice and so genuine. It's wonderful. Right, now we begin with our own goodbyes, and you will hear more, I'm sure, about Councilor Blanks and her leadership on the Public Safety Committee. But we're going to go in a seniority order on this side, and then we will do Ms. Blanks. So I'm going to first actually do the least. This is, again, in seniority of service, not in age. So I'm going to start with Mr. Cortez, and then I'm going to have our side go, and then you guys on your side, okay? Alberto Cortez, this is a hard night for all of us. I want to just say that I want to just start by saying it's a tremendous commitment that everybody at this table makes, and it's a tremendous commitment and a real a request of support from families whose partners and family members serve on the council, whether it's a spouse, partner, child, parent. We are often busy, and there's a very big commitment that we make, and oftentimes we might miss family events. And I just want to say that I respect everybody up here that has volunteered to serve, and the new people that are coming up soon this evening. And just, again, thank you all for your support and making this happen. Democracy can't run, and we're all volunteers, but we are elected, and we can't do what we do without the support of all of you. So thank you all so much. I have a quote for everybody, so I'm going to start with the quote for Mr. Cortez. Our first and best gift to each other is our time and attention. And Mr. Cortez, that's what he does. He has given his attention and time to all of us in a profound way and to all of his community. But I also want to first thank specifically his wife, Jessica, and his sons, Gabrielle and Adrian. Mr. Cortez made history as the first Latino town councilor. I mean, that's kind of unfortunate that he was the first, but we're very glad that he was. He was elected in 2021. He has served as vice chair of the Civilian Police Review Board. That's how you started. Advocating for children on the autism spectrum, really important to him. He served in the Department of Corrections for 20 years, was a member of the Army, bless you, Army National Guard. He is very involved in his church, and if you talk to him or listen to any council meetings, you can see that very clearly. The West Hartford United Methodist, we all call it the Pumpkin Church. He is a realtor sales executive at Berkshire Hathaway. And Alberto is somebody that, Mr. Cortez is somebody, Councilor Cortez, somebody that has lived the challenges that many of our community have and face every day. And he speaks with an authenticity and a genuine care for people. And he is always thinking of others. He is kind and caring. Sometimes he has a little dark sense of humor, but he is truly one of the most giving people, kind, always smiling, asking what he can do, always trying to learn more, and was really not ever hesitated to ask questions. And so I'm so grateful for your service. He served on public safety, CPED, human and leisure, and I think that's it. Was there another? Yeah. And so I just want to say how grateful I am. Oftentimes we say that we wouldn't necessarily know somebody from a different life experience, kids different ages, different schools, maybe a different part of town. We might not have known each other otherwise, but I am so grateful that I got to know you. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to go down the line, and then we'll reverse it. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Winograd.
So public service can be very satisfying, but it's never easy. You deserve the thanks of the community for the hard work you put into your time on this council. We all had our differences, but you expressed yourself with civility and good humor. And that's really important. You need to keep that perspective. You were able to give a perspective of healthy skepticism at times for some of the proposals coming from this side of the table, but that is needed. And you did so in service to our shared commitment to making West Hartford the best place it can be. So please rest assured you will be missed, and think about you every time I see some pumpkins. And I'm sure I'll see you again at the next food drive.
Thank you, Mr. Winograd. Ms. Pullen?
Alberto, it's truly been an honor to serve with you and get to know you. You are somebody who just exudes warmth and compassion. And I don't know if it's because of your lived experience or just because that's who you are internally. It's very, very clear that you want to make our community and the world a better place for all people. And I truly respect that, and the fact that you have chosen to give your time to our town through your service on the town council. I'm grateful for that and hope to see you around.
Thank you, Ms. Pullen. Ms. McGinnis?
Through you, Madam Mayor. I just want to take a moment to thank you for your time on the council. Public service asks a lot of people, and you showed up, you engaged, you worked hard to represent your community. And I've appreciated your willingness to dig into the issues and be part of the conversation at this table. I also appreciate that, we've been able to disagree without being disagreeable, which is unfortunately a rarity these days. I wish you the best as you move on to what's next, and I thank you for your time and commitment, the time and commitment that you've given to West Hartford, and we're definitely going to miss you.
Thank you, Ms. McGinnis. Ms. Blanks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Town Councilor Alberto Cortez, I appreciate everything that you brought to this role as an elected official. During discussion, your genuine voice is the voice for those who often feel unseen, unheard, especially the elderly, or the new word for a senior citizen. The special needs adults who are navigating through an environment with minimum resources while balancing the need to be fiscally conservative. You are still thinking of those resources severely needed for families and individuals who are without basic needs, food, diapers, affordable housing. I wish you the very best in your next chapter, and I know all good things are coming to you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Ms. Blanks. Mr. Walters.
Thank you, and through you, Madam Mayor. Councilor Cortez, Alberto. I was convinced 2 years ago that I was going to convert you to the blue side. That did not happen. I want to thank you for your service, just as everyone else has done, and thank you for stepping up for West Hartford families who face hunger and challenges. I know you have made a real difference in a lot of lives. I'm grateful for what you've done, all of that you've done, and I do wish you the very best as you move forward. I know that I haven't, as I will say with the rest of you, I have not seen the last of you. And my last thing is I promise to continue your legacy by ending the meetings with a call for action regarding food insecurity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walters. You guys want to go now?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Al, my confidant, my right-hand man, we've been in the trenches together, and we've seen and dealt with a lot of issues, and sometimes crises, dilemmas, and for sure even a little drama over the years. But having said that, you made things easy and enjoyable the last 4 years. I couldn't have asked for a better partner to sit next to. I've called for your advice or just to talk to you different times of the day, and you've always made time for me, and I appreciate that. Your love for this town and this job you do without question. You've been a pillar of the United Methodist Church, which everyone's talked about, for the food insecurity and the community. Your passion for the church and the food bank is unrelenting, and it's been an honor to serve alongside you. I will miss you on TC, but not around town, because unfortunately I still have your phone number, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zdanowitz. Ms. Fay?
Yes, thank you very much. Gosh, Alberto, I remember when you first started. I guess you were kind of the new kid on the block, so to speak. I think I had been in one term maybe. And we did a lot of campaigning together, had a lot of fun. And I'll never forget when we were able to have Themis Claritas come and campaign with us down through New Britain Avenue. And that was really, really something that she took the time to come to West Hartford and support the two of us and the Republican slate. That was terrific. We've been through a lot together. We've served on joint committees. We've, I think, overall agreed. I think you've brought, I guess out of the three of us, I'm probably the most conservative, for better or for worse. And you helped me try to come more towards the middle, which I started that way. If you remember, I was purple. So I think that's where we need to be. I think that's what the people expect of us, to all work together to solve problems. And I'm grateful for knowing you, and I hope we continue the conversation we started tonight, and I look very much forward to that. So I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, Ms. Fay. Now, Mr. Cortez.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So, wrote little brief notes. Thank you for all you guys. Councilor Walters, I've genuinely enjoyed our conversations about nonprofits, your activism, and passion you bring to our town. I've also admired the love you show for your family, especially the care and dedication you put into preparing your son for the world. Thank you for always sharing your insights and your heart. Councilor Blanks. Serving with you both on this council and for 4 years on the Public Safety Committee has been a privilege. You care deeply about the people of West Hartford and treat our town staff with such kindness and respect. You always ask the right questions and ensure that every important detail is captured. I appreciate you more than you know. Councilor Poulin, thank you for opening my eyes to concerns within our Jewish community, because, for me, I've kind of struggled to, understand what's going on, how, people are affected by words, and how they matter. Your willingness to share and explain and guide has helped me grow in empathy and understanding. I'm grateful for your perspective and your patience. Councilor McGinnis, I don't think anyone can question your dedication to civic life or your passion for politics. I value the conversations we've had and the opportunities to see things through your lens. We may not always walk the same path, but we both want what's best for West Hartford. And that common ground matters. Councilor Winograd, let me say this, you are absolutely the last person I want speaking after me in a debate. If I leave even the tiniest door open, you somehow find your way to walk right through it. Over the years, you've been a steady, knowledgeable voice for sustainability, housing, and our community is better for it. I look forward to continuing to work with you at the West Hartford Fellowship Housing. Councilor Stanowitz, it has truly been a pleasure being your right-hand man, and I meant that literally after sitting to your right for the past 4 years. You have served this town for over 15 years, and before that, you served our country with honor. I've always admired the passion you have for your family and how you carry that same passion onto the work here. We've had plenty of downtime between meetings. I'll never forget constantly asking, why can't we just move the meetings times closer? And the answer has always been something like, well, the charter says, the rules, but you push, and because of you, that downtime is now shorter. You're not afraid to speak up, and you've always built strong communications with the other side, something not many people can do well. I'm really going to miss our conversations at this table and on the phone, but thankfully, you're just a call away, and I look forward to the next one. Councilor Fay, I admire your passion for politics more than I can say. You're fierce, tenacious, and truly a force to be reckoned with. You never take the easy way out. You've been a mentor to me, and you have a unique gift for bringing forward a fresh, different perspective when our community needs it most. Thank you for your service. I look forward to watching you continue to rise, do even greater things for our state. Mayor Cantor, I have encountered very few true leaders in my life, and you're absolutely one of them. Your guidance, your warmth, your empathy, they have meant so much to me, whether it was at this table or in a conversation as friends. You always knew the right things to say. Thank you for being someone I can always count on. And since I have the mic, I might as well keep going here, all right? So Town Manager Ledwith, you're always available, whether it's by phone, text, or email, 7 days a week, not just for me or this council, but for the people of our entire community. You are and have been the right person for this job. West Hartford is a great place to live, and you have a remarkable ability to make incredibly complex work look effortless. We are very truly lucky to have someone like you at the helm. I just have one more thing to ask you, Town Manager, so we can have this on the record, hopefully. And it's about the roundabout on King Philip Drive. Can we have a planner with a beautiful arrangement in the center instead of those bollards? A roundabout should reflect the character of the community it serves, and we are West Hartford, the college town everyone wants to move to, the restaurant mecca of New England, and a thoughtfully designed planner would add charm, reflect our pride in this town, and create the kind of welcoming, polished look that matches who we are. We will do that. My wife couldn't be here, but most importantly, I want to thank my wife, Jessica. Public service is not easy on families, campaigns, long nights, phone calls at all hours, but You stood by me through it all, even during the moments when the stress reached our home. You made sure I stayed grounded, kept fighting for our community. I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you for your strength, your patience, and your love. To anyone out there thinking about stepping into public service, but it feels like it's too hard, too intimidating, or not meant for someone like you, I want you to hear this from me. It is hard, it is intimidating, and it will change you in ways you don't expect. But if a former high school dropout from Hartford can do it, so can you. Just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, to lift up others, and to make our town a better place. This journey has been humbling, it has been meaningful, and it has truly been an honor to serve.
That was beautiful.
But before I forget,
Oh, boy.
food insecurity is a 365-day issue. It affects 169 towns, so even a town like West Hartford is not immune from food insecurity. There are plenty of ways you can give. We have a drop box in West Hartford United Methodist Church if you cannot make it to the town that cares. But my gift to this town is a little food pantry that I've installed on the corner of North Main and White Hill Drive as well. Thank you.
See how lucky we have been to have him on our council. And this is service overall, Board of Ed and council, because Mr. Zdanowitz has a number of years on the, so I'm going to go to Ms. Fay next. Mary Fay has been married to Mary and daughter Kathleen. Thank you so much. Family is incredibly important. Mary, if you hear her, you know that she has been a financial executive in a number of positions. She has stepped into the ring numerous times, and because she believed that she could bring something and a voice that other people didn't. Oh, I forgot your quote. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. And thank you, Mary, for your acts of kindness. She has been active for a very long time in town, from school volunteer to coach. I think also part of the Irish American Club, or she's been a dedicated daughter, and I saw that firsthand. When we're on serve with people, we see the cycle of life, and whether it's births or deaths, we attended Mary's dad's funeral and saw her family bonding over that. And she was very committed to her. She's been so committed to her family. She's passionate. She has a clear commitment to representing her constituents, sometimes standing alone on her stance on something she believed. She has served on the council for 8 years and has served on almost all committees over that tenure. She was minority leader from 2021 to 2023. And she is, Mary has shared and devoted many hours, and as she has said, many hours that we have not seen with her constituents, on behalf of her constituents. And as you will hear multiple times tonight, public service is not easy, and when you stand alone, it's even harder. And Mary has done that on numerous occasions. She concludes her service. I thank you for the time and effort you have devoted to West Hartford. Thank you. And now we'll go to Mr. Winograd. Sorry, Mr. Walters.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. You're not going to give me time to come up with a quip. Maybe that was by design. No, Mary and I go way back. We've been best buds for a long time, more or less. So I want to thank you, Mary. Thank you for your service, as was just mentioned, your dedication, your hard work, and your commitment to the community, to all of the community, not just any one single part of it. You have stuck to your convictions, and you stand steadfast in your beliefs. I know in my heart and mind, I said I would do this. I know in my heart and mind, we have not seen nor heard the last of you.
Thank you, Mr. Walters. Ms. Blanks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Town Councilor Mary Fay, thank you for your representation and speaking up for our community, emphasizing your position as a fiscal conservative and working in the financial industry, and lifting up our men and women in blue for keeping our town safe. We all lift them up for their services and their sacrifice. Mary, I'm wishing you the very best to you and to your family, and can't wait to see what you do in your next chapter.
Thank you, Ms. Blanks. Ms. McGinnis.
Through you, Madam Mayor. Mayor, like everyone else, I want to thank you for your service to West Hartford. I valued your engagement and your willingness to speak up for what you believe in. And I really want you to know that the time and effort you've dedicated to this community have not gone unnoticed. I wish you the very best as you move on to whatever comes next.
Thank you, Ms. McGinnis. Ms. Pullen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councilor Fay, I think you may remember that I actually knew your sister before I knew you because she worked with my husband. And we may not always agree on policy issues, but we do both love public schools, libraries, and we both have a daughter who plays softball. So I think we found a lot to agree on over the years, and I appreciate your service as well. So thank you for contributing your time to our community, and I'll see you around.
Thank you, Ms. Pullen. Mr. Winograd.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I heard a rumor that you weren't always from West Hartford, that you actually were from East Hartford. Picked it up somewhere. And that you also had John Larson as a teacher. I've heard that as well. And the reason we know this is because aside from your reputation as being a strong fighter for your beliefs, you also did that with real friendliness to the people around this table. You were always there with a friendly word. And, you know, the battles that we might have in the public discourse is one thing. But what you showed here was really a very human empathy and again, just a friendliness to all of us. So that was very much appreciated. And of course, thank you for the service that we got in West Hartford rather than East Hartford. We appreciate that you were here. And again, I know your service is not over. So thank you. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Winograd. I know, Mr. Cortez, you said a lot in yours, so I don't know if you have more, but do you? No. Okay. Mr. Zitanowicz.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mary, I want to thank you for your dedication to the office all these years. As you know, this job has its challenges, and you and I and a few of us have been around the block a few times. We've been at it for a while. And if those challenges that we take away offer future learning opportunities for all of us, that's what it does. It always has growth for opportunity, both politically and personally. And I hope you continue in your quest to serve, and you find happiness in that in your next venture, and may you be successful going forward in whatever that may be.
Thank you, Mr. Zitanowicz. And so, Ms. Fay.
Excuse me. This is actually harder than I thought it would be. I knew it would be hard. It's hard to say goodbye to people that you, believe it or not, I really do respect and like everybody in this room and hold you in extremely high regard. And I've learned something from each and every one of you. And I've appreciated your points of view. You know, people, when they describe me fighting for what I believe in, that's true. I think that's how we earned the name, the Fighting Irish. I think that's just part of our culture and DNA. But we agreed way more than we disagreed. And you can look back at the record and you'll see many, many unanimous votes. So I think that's good. I think that's coming to consensus is important. So I did write something. I usually don't write a script, but I thought I would be overcome too much to actually just wing it, which like I normally do, and speak from the heart, which I will still be doing. I said good evening, everyone, and to all watching at home. It's been my deep and profound honor to serve the people and businesses of West Hartford, the town I love and have called home for the past 25 years. I've been a Connecticut resident my entire life and have actively participated in every community I've lived in. I've loved being your town councilor for the past 8 years, 9 if you count my first year campaigning, or a whopping 63 years in dog years. Time sure does fly when you're committed to solving problems, helping others, making a difference, and loving what you do. I'm extremely proud of what we've been able to accomplish together. Fighting to preserve single-family neighborhoods by pushing back on oversized developments and tax abatements, championing a no-tolls resolution that echoed across nearby towns and across the entire state, submitting an anti-crime resolution also approved in nearby towns, and supporting West Hartford's police and fire department to keep our communities safe. Carol, you were an exemplary leader on public safety, and you were too, Alberto, and I enjoyed participating in those meetings very much. I hold the police and fire in extremely high regard. That's also runs in my family, too. I just trying to get a reasonable budget and lower taxes to drive affordability. It's very hard. It's not easy. If it was easy, we would never have a tax increase. I've learned so much. I think we do our best to spend our dollars prudently and appropriately. But you guys all echoed this, and I'm really glad that it came across. And Barry, I do like you. I know we've sometimes faced off and squared off, but none of this is personal, believe me. It's actually really hard for me to do that. But giving a voice to the voiceless, I think that's something that's always been important to me. You mentioned East Hartford, and I started very, very young from fighting open space battles in my hometown, and taking on the MDC and trying to get that Niagara discount gone, and it's part of Save Our Water. And I think those are important things, and I hope that you can see that I'm not just a conservative. I mean, these are kind of environmental things, so I think I cover a wide range of things that I'm concerned about. Running as a true conservative in a town where Republicans are a distinct minority is no easy task. It's certainly not for the faint of heart. Yet voters from all parties, Republicans and Democrats alike, as well as the unaffiliated voters and neighbors, trusted me to move West Hartford forward, and I'm very grateful for that. From the bottom of my heart, this means the world, and I'm really having a hard time walking away. To my beloved family, Mary and Katie, the loves of my life, thank you for your love, support, and patience as I pursued public service and held elected office. I ran a lot of elections in a row, including statewide. That was rough. And taking on Congressman Larson, that was fun. He was my basketball coach too, by the way. I really like him, and my mother taught his children, so we know each other pretty well. That was a really, really fun race. But I know it took a toll on my family. It required a lot of my energies and focus. I wasn't home a lot, and I think I think you would not be my family anymore if I ran again. So thank you for your patience and standing by me. I'll never forget that. I will never forget that. I know how hard you had to work to keep the homes fires burning. I know that's cliche, our family together, but that's true. And picking up the slack while I served others, always standing beside me. A lot has happened over the past 8 years. Sherry mentioned this. I lost both of my beloved parents. Mary lost hers as well. My parents were my biggest supporters, and my mother, a Boston educator, Democrat, Blue Dog Democrat, she was my best campaigner in her 80s, well into her 80s. We added a puppy to our household. We lived through COVID, and we saw the UConn basketball, both the men and women, win national championships. And I know, Sherry, that's something near and dear to you and your whole entire family. And Michael, I see him in the audience. Kathleen, Virginia. That's after my mom, Virginia. Katie, you've grown from a Morley School first grader to a King Philip middle schooler to now a Hall High School junior. In less than 2 years, you'll be off to college. You are well on your way, singing with Hall choraleers and in the St. Timothy's choirs, playing the violin in the orchestra, rocking the pops and jazz, presiding over Model UN, participating in mock trial, working hard in athletics, mentoring students in classes behind you and in elementary school, and succeeding in your courses. And most importantly, you're always supporting your classmates. You always work hard, pitch in, and fight for what you believe in. But most of all, Katie, and what Mama and I are most proud of is that you are kind, generous, compassionate, and a friend to all. We are extremely proud of you and love you so very much. I can't wait to reclaim some family time and attend all of your events and see what the world holds for you. My hope is that you will continue to be the fine person you are and that you achieve all your dreams, whatever they may be, and you continue to make a difference in the world. You will always have our love and support. Leadership has been my calling. It's in my DNA and my family on both sides. They have a long history of leadership and public service. I was the oldest of 4 kids. You know what? I'm not even going to read this. You guys know me. You know my whole story. It's hard to do these things, but I'm extremely proud. I'm enjoyed and loved working with all of you. You've all touched my life and impacted me, and I'll take lessons from all of you as I go forward. I hope you miss my passion, maybe even my fire. I'll try to tone that down going forward. I don't think town meetings will be quite as lively as they will going forward. Maybe I'll be surprised. And to the next town council, love the work, embrace the grind, listen to the people, and never stop making a difference. I wish you much success and peace. God bless West Hartford, the state of Connecticut, and the United States of America. Namaste.
Thank you, Mary. And Katie, good for you. Well, I can't wait to see the Corollaires. I can't wait to see you sing in madrigals and the jazz show. All right, and now Mark. Mark Sedanowitz, wife Nella, and his kids, Jenna, Julia, and Ryan. Another group of stars, incredible. Jenna was a cross-country state champion, Yukon, and ranked globally. I didn't realize she was ranked globally in cross-country. And Julia, who is still running for Marist, right? And Ryan, who played wrestling and football, is an ROTC, right? Yeah, at Syracuse. We forgive you for that, but Mark always walked in with such pride for his kids' achievements. He would wear it, but it wasn't for just his kids; it was for the team. And he would never say this was his kid that won how they did. It was always the team. But you could if you asked a couple of questions, you could peel it back and you could get that real, just incredible sense of pride and so much reason to be. He had joined his grandfather's business, family business, that was from 1947, the Guidus dairy business, was an independent consultant, a financial underwriter. Sure, I didn't know that. You were an underwriter for briefly. Spent 24 years in the Connecticut Army National Guard, was headquarter commander of Connecticut Training Center. He is an Iraq War veteran where he earned the Combat Action Badge and Bronze Star, retired engineer officer 2016 to 2025. I actually became aware of Mr. Zdanowitz when he ran for Congress in 2010, and my son's best friend was asked to be your campaign chair or something, manager. And so he walked into our house and he goes, I know you guys are Democrats, but he's a really good guy. You'd like him. And sure enough, he is. Oh my God, I forgot my quote before I go farther. Valor is stability, not of legs and arms, but of courage and the soil. So that is you. Ran for Congress 2010, didn't work out, but then he decided to run for Board of Ed, so it did work out for us. It was actually, you were appointed first for a year, right, in 2012, and then was elected to Board of Education in 2015, was elected to the council in 2019, served on the Council Affairs and Governance, Finance and Administration, Public Works and Facilities, and often popped in and out of other meetings. Mark is, and I'm addressing it, to everybody because, and I know people will address to you, but you are so smart, thoughtful, always in service for the right reasons to make our community better, raise and hey, we'd all be sitting in a room and everybody would be quiet, and Mark does not talk effusively. And when he would say something, everybody listens. And it was always worth listening. He also is constantly changing his notes. Sitting next to me, he's like, as things go on, he's like, yeah, and then this, and then he's going to be really brief, and then he's not. So we appreciate all that. He is respected and respectful. He is trustworthy. And I know that we are going to miss all of you. But Mark has made such an impact through the Board of Education and Mark has made a huge impact on the Board of Education and Town Council. I think your wife said this was the first election in 15 years that she didn't have the opportunity to vote for you. She didn't say whether she voted for you, but she said the opportunity. But anyway, but I, as minority leader, we talk a lot. It's a very effective way to have communication, and I'm so grateful to have met all of you. And truly, Mark, when Drew walked in my house and said you'd really like him, he couldn't be more right. So, all right, now I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to go to Ms. McGinnis first.
Through you, Madam Mayor. So if there's one thing that we know about Councilor Zdanowicz, it's that he loves it when we have really long remarks. So I have written a 2-page farewell speech for him. I want to thank you for the years that you've devoted to the council and to the people of West Hartford. You've been a steady, thoughtful leader at this table, and your commitment to this town has always been clear. I've really enjoyed working alongside you and getting to know you a little through this work, and I truly wish you the very best in whatever you choose to do next. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McGinnis. Ms. Pullen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mark, you and I have known each other a long time, and I really have appreciated seeing you both on the basketball court sidelines, but mostly working with you both on the Board of Education and on Town Council. And I think we accomplished some good things together in a truly bipartisan way. And I appreciate that you're always willing to have that conversation to see if we can come to resolution on something. So thank you for that and for your long service. And I'll miss seeing you up here.
Mr. Walters.
Just bouncing around, aren't you? Thank you, and through you, Madam Mayor. All right, so I had 2 things that I remember about Mark from before we served together and on this council. And one of them was, I think, when I would come to a meeting, the occasion I would come to a meeting, I believe it was Mark that would say, you can do this with a glass of wine at home. And I clearly ignored him. So, but Mark, many years of service, both on the Board of Ed and here with the Town Council, and that's to be commended. Your commitment, steady leadership, and I find that you have a calm demeanor, regardless of what anybody else says, and you care for West Hartford. And you have made a lasting impact on both our kids and our town as a whole. I wish you many relaxing trips up north and many victories for your children.
Thank you, Mr. Walters. Ms. Blanks.
Thank you, through you, Madam Mayor. The Minority Leader, Town Councilor Mark Zdanowicz. We've served on the BOE together and now Town Council, and we now exit together. The businessman, the veteran, the husband, the family man, and the supportive dad. I respect you for doing what is beneficial for improving our town through growth of housing, improving and enhancing public spaces that we all utilize, and advocating savings for the town. Keep enjoying the jerk chicken recipe and stay away from the wildfires. Take care of yourself and your family. Enjoy the next chapter And thank you for your service, Mark, truly.
Thank you, Ms. Blanks. Mr. Winograd.
Mark, I've really enjoyed serving with you. You have a dry sense of humor that you share. I'm sort of waiting in your remarks that you're going to begin your remarks by complaining about the 8 o'clock start time tonight and suggesting how we can change that in the future. I admire your service to your country and to the town. I admire your sweaters. And I really appreciated your responsible conservatism. I mean, you're when we have discussions, I'm occasionally surprised. Wait a minute, that's a pretty conservative position he's taking, but you do it with sort of a cheerfulness and intellectual backing that I really do appreciate. So, thank you, and I'm glad to have gotten a chance to meet you on this board.
Thank you, Mr. Winograd. And I don't know if you two have anything further, because I know you said in your talks you would like to, but all set? Do you want to? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Fay.
I guess I missed the assignment. I didn't. I tried to acknowledge everybody, but Mark, thank you for all your service, and especially, gosh, your military service is something that I deeply, deeply, deeply respect, and I do thank you for that, and your son as well. It's something that's very important for our country, and not too many people volunteer these days, and I really appreciate that about you very much, as well as all the years that you spent on the Board of Education. It's a big commitment. You've served a very long time, and I think our community is better for it. So I do thank you, and I wish you the best, and for you and your family.
Thank you, Ms. Fay. Mr. Zdanowitz.
Well, thank you. And the mayor was correct. I have been making notes as we go along. I do it every meeting, just a habit. First, I'd like to thank the residents of West Hartford for allowing me to serve all these years. It's been an honor, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. So I appreciate that. And then I'd like to thank all the directors and employees for their dedication, professionalism. You really make West Hartford tick. To the director, John Phillips, Public Works, I've always said every winter West Hartford has the cleanest streets, and you can just go to any town that borders us and you hit a pile of snow. Our streets in town look much better because of John Phillips' leadership and the way he runs things. To our Fire Chief, Greg Priest, I appreciate the safety aspect, your professionalism, the way you get things done. It's a pleasure to live in this town because of what you offer as far as safety and your team. I appreciate that. Your responses, everything has been top notch. Police Chief Verdon Riddick, same. I enjoy living in this town. The safety, the way that you solve things in a quick manner, professionalism. I couldn't be prouder of our police and fire forces and our workers here in West Hartford. And you guys, I take my hat off to you, and I appreciate everything you've done. One thing I'll say to everybody is that I've always enjoyed over the years, and this is something I'll take away, is the time that we've had the opportunity, each and every one of us, for those here now and those in the past, talking at the polls. You know, we don't do it often, and it's only every few years, but those memories of us talking at the polls, I ran across some of you this year, and I appreciate those times. Again, we don't always agree with things, but I've always enjoyed and those memories will last a lifetime. I want to Barry, I want to just clear one thing up about the glass of wine. You weren't sitting up here. You were just visiting the town council, and I said that you could watch it on TV with a glass of wine. I don't want you to think that you could have had a glass of wine up here. So I just make sure that everyone's clear. But Barry, you have so many talents, but who knew horticultural was one of them? You would coach me on our own Bradford pear tree when we were talking about it. I'm like, why is he against these trees? I don't get it. I'm like, I didn't have any idea what a Bradford tree was, and he coached me on that. And I appreciate that all you do for this town and the caring and the heartfelt voice that you use every time you're up here, and I appreciate that. Ms. McGinnis, we haven't had many years together as conversations and interactions, but every time that we have, it's been an absolute pleasure. Your enthusiasm, your compassion for this town comes through immediately. Your smile, your genuineness for everything about being here in this town comes through, and it just beams from you. And I really do appreciate that. Councilor Blanks, we have served a long time together. Beginning on the Board of Ed, I can remember when you left, I knew we were losing a smart, consistent advocate, and you moved to town council, and I knew they were better for it. And I was worried about the strong opposing voice we'd lose, because that's important. Although on the other side of the aisle, I've always loved your passion, your advocacy for town, and then, of course, as she mentioned, how could I forget your delicious jerk chicken recipe that you gave me? And I think it was her husband that said, "Did you tell Mark it was 10 peppers, or was it, you know?" And it was. I think I made it a little too hot that time. And she shared that at, and maybe this is a call out. She shared that recipe because I enjoyed it at West Hartford Cooking, and I remember getting the first thing in the mail. It was celebrity chef, and I'm like, they got the wrong. I'm not a celebrity. I just happened to be on town Board of Ed at the time, but I really missed that, and it was really nice. We all came together. We cooked a different meal, and that happened to be jerk chicken. It was fabulous, and somehow maybe we can get that back. Maybe that's a call to action. Deb, we've been together a long time, as you mentioned, and started at the Board of Ed. You and I have not always agreed on issues, but we've always kept it professional and meaningful, and our relationship has benefited from those discussions, and we've always had as a learning opportunity. And one thing that we started together, it never really went through, and maybe these are another call for action, is the 2 additional turf fields in town that we may need. But I'm not on anymore. Regardless of the topics or interest, was always in line with the constituents, our students specifically. Your hard work, intellectual questions, your knowledge of each topic has paid off, and our constituents had paid attention. And I want to congratulate you on your upcoming deputy mayor. So congratulations. Ben, you and I have had numerous conversations, and almost 100% of the time we disagreed. But we've always kept it professional and respectful. I'm not sure there's anyone else that demonstrates a polar opposite than you and I. But to measure that, interestingly, the drink question is a thought experiment in politics and in people, and that attempts to measure the authenticity and likability of politicians and people. Would you have a drink with Ben or with that person? And yes, as long as he's paying. 100% of the time, 100% of the time I would have that drink. And we've had a few over the years, and I've always enjoyed our time and our conversations, and yes, our disagreements. And Al had said something that when you're last to speak, I hate that too, because you always find that door open. I'm like, Mayor, can he speak before me? And I could find the hole. But so, yes, it was challenging, and I appreciate that. And having said that too, and the mayor mentioned, I did run for Congress, and I challenged a lot of issues. This is kind of a political overview of how I feel of how politics, you go in it for one reason and it changes you and things like that. And I had a lot of opposing issues with Congressman Larson. Well, that election was over. He won. I went a different way. But after that, I learned a valuable lesson. He sent a personal note and a flag that was flown over the Capitol, and my dad had passed, and he wrote a very nice note, and I'm getting goosebumps on it. I still do to this day. And I look at, here we are. I ran against him, some opposing views, and that's what he did, and the integrity that took. And then years later, my son was looking for an appointment to West Point, and he granted that. And he didn't have to. I'm on the other side of the aisle, but I just appreciate that. It's a lesson learned in politics as we go forward. Mayor Sherry Cantor, it's obvious by the amount of votes you get that this town really loves you. But it's not because of the number of votes that shows through. It's your hard work, your dedication, your relentless drive, that loving tenacity that the town admires. There's no doubt this town knows your work ethic and your love for this town. As mayor and minority leader over the last few years, the communication channels has always been open. Even with our busy schedules, we've managed to get in touch with each other regardless of the issues or time of day. That's not always been the case through the years, but I can tell you I appreciated it, and so does the town. And I hope some of my legacy that I leave here is that gaps in the meeting times really do become more efficient. It's the one thing that I really want, 30 years from now in the cornerstone of a building, Mark saves some time in the meetings through efficiency. So I appreciate that. Your leadership, your friendliness, the things that you do for the town is just overwhelming, and I couldn't be prouder of the things that you do here. Even though we are on different sides of the aisle, your heart's in the right place. Your leadership is incredible, and I appreciate everything that you and I have done and what you do for the town. Rick, we also go back, way back to the beginning, and it's been my honor to get to know you over these years. It's been an absolute pleasure serving with you through the Board of Ed and Town Council. Your leadership, mentorship, institutional knowledge comes through your actions, character, and empowering others and leading by example, and always collectively calm. I've used this before in examples, but not publicly. Rick is like a duck swimming smoothly, flat and composed in appearance on the outside, but a lot of hard work and effort happening beneath the surface to maintain that calm. West Hartford's lucky to have you, and it's a better place that you're here. And I've appreciated our friendship over the years and what we've been through. And Leon, also, we served together too. We met in late 1997 or early 98. My wife can tell you better. When we were looking for wedding invitations, and like most people in my life, you took a liking to my better half. Not my intellectual half, or my handsome half, or my political astute half, but to my much better half, my wife, Nella. And over the years, I've always appreciated your advice and counsel, and it's without a doubt that your quiet, reserved passion for this town and unwavering service shines bright. The town clerk's office is in the best hands. To my wife, Nella, who's in the audience, and my family, we've been at this a long time. When I first started this journey, I was working in the family business. I was in the National Guard, and I was serving the town of West Hartford. I was very busy, and I could not have done it without the support of my wife. She kept that family rock solid, and it proves it today with their success that they found. I was often gone. I was actually gone for 22 months at one point overseas, and and even in the Zoom meetings during COVID, you're home, right? And it's ideal, but you're not present because you're in a meeting. And they had to pretend to be quiet in the background and things like that. Thank God we had mute. But I could not have done this. My success or my passions are always fed by your love and what you do for me and the family every day. So I just want to say thank you. Appreciate it.
It's hard with 4 people leaving, and there's so much to say, and I know it's getting late. I know. That was the longest you've ever. Well,
I had to go
how
out
much
that
more is
way.
he going to scratch down there? Anyway, okay. That was beautiful. All right, now we're going to go to Carol. I'm actually going to start with, I know Mr. Cortez already kind of said his piece. I don't know, Mary, if you want to say something else.
Yeah, I would love to. Carol, gosh, I walked in with your brother, Everett, and your sister-in-law, Sharon. I mean, there's so many interconnections between that. I love Everett and Sharon. We're good friends. We worked together about 25 years ago at the Travelers, and we've kept in touch and have had our friendship ever since. And I had no idea that was your brother until one day I figured it out. So you come from a great family. You really do, and you have your own wonderful family. And I've really loved participating on public safety with you. You really did a great job. You can tell that the police force and the fire force deeply respect you, and that's hard. They really know their stuff, and you did a great job. I really admire you for running that, and I think we're very fortunate to live in a town that really values public safety. Among other things, we value a lot of things here, but that is something that I think impacts every single solitary person. So thank you for your leadership on that committee. And I hope we stay in touch. And I mean, well, for all of you, I really do hope that we stay in touch and have coffee or a glass of wine or what have you. And I wish you nothing but the best as you enter retirement. But I'm not sure that that's really what you're going to do. We'll see. But I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fay. Anything else? Your house? Yeah, guys. So actually, I am going to go just because I have some history, so I'll do that. And all right. Well, I'm going to start with a quote this time, so I won't forget. Sorry, lots of packets of paper here. To give real service, you must add something which cannot be bought or measured with money, and that is sincerity and integrity. And that is Carol. She is sincere and an incredibly, a person filled with integrity and incredible grace. I want to thank her husband, Charles. I know Charles is in the house, and daughters Shannon, Cynthia, and Kate for supporting Carol. I'm sorry, Kate. Yes, I'm sorry about that. Sorry, Kay. I knew that. And thanking her for her many years of public service. Carol was elected to the Board of Education in 2015 and then the Town Council in 2019. She was vice chair and chair at the Board of Education, so was a leader, has been a leader all the way through. Carol worked for the state in Department of Social Services and then in the Department of Public Health as a program director and manager for contracts and grants management. And she retired at 30+ years after serving the state of Connecticut. As a new town councilor, I gave Carol, we talked about it, right? And I gave her the responsibility of chairing public safety. That was in 2019. And little did we know, there would be a little pandemic coming right around the corner. And her first meeting, she went to the PD, the police department, and met with the leadership of public safety. And as you could see by that award, she was impressed with them, and they have been extremely impressed with her. What Carol came away with from that meeting was her actual, how impacted she was, how serious, passionate, and caring our PD and FD are, our safety, our public safety departments. She led the committee during COVID and the enormous challenges. And I remember actually having a meeting here, and we were like, okay, what is this thing? Like, what are we going to do? We're just starting to dig into it. But under her leadership, public safety, we established and populated the towns and the state's first all-civilian police review board. There was a lot of input from our police department, leadership, our corporation counsel's office, and we were so proud of that. And we had 90 applications to serve on that commission. I think I combed through I think we had 40 left, and then you and I were all over my dining room table going through the resumes. Also, under her time as chair, we established the CERT team with 300, and again, thank you to Bob McHugh and to Chief Priest and to Chief Reddick for all of that. We have had 350 graduates and I think 250 engaged volunteers that help with everything from, all things that our town might need. She was often at police and fire swearing-ins, promotions, and awards, which speaks so loudly to the support. As both chiefs shared in her final public safety committee meeting, she was people first, genuine, had no pretense. Her nickname is Queen of Questions. I have a question. It was always about enlightening others at the table. It was never meant to embarrass or demean anyone. It was to gain knowledge and not power. Chief Riddick shared that she held them both accountable and professional, but not mutually exclusively. You can do both, and Carol did it with grace. Carol did mix up their names sometimes. Greg Riddick, Vernon Priest, whatever, but we all knew it was. Sometimes it's hard when you're navigating maybe a weak connection or a connection that's not quite working as you intended. Carol also served on the Public Works Committee, where the connection of the Troutbrook Trail was completed, and many of our Vision Zero quick builds were a very important component of the activity over these past year. What really always impressed me about Carol and public service was she was in it for all the right reasons, simply because she cares. Her intelligence, her curiosity, caring, grace, her kindness, her strength, her ethics, her reliability. She was always prepared, and it showed in the things that were achieved while she was chair. Our town is so much better because of Carol's service, and I'm a better person for working with her, knowing her, learning from her, and from her friendship. I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to know you, Carol, and work with you, and I will miss you greatly. Okay, now we'll go down the, I won't.
Thank you, Mayor. You took some of pretty much everything I was going to say, but except for the first thing. That's why you went first, I know. Sorry, Barry. No, I'll get used to it. Carol, it's been a long road for us together. We go way back to our days on town committee when we were trying to elect other people to come here, to come to Board of Ed, for Congress, whatever else. And one thing we did together was you proudly brought our daughters to headquarters, both for sort of child care purposes, but also with the hope that they would grow up with shared value, to share our values of and commitment to social justice. And I do remember a dance performance that they put on for the volunteers, which wasn't exactly what we wanted them to be doing at the time. Probably wanted them to phone bank or sign envelopes, but they had a great time, and they turned out okay. And we both get to be pretty proud of the women they became. Then in 2015, and I'd forgotten about Mark as well, we all decided to run for office, and we all won. Me on council, you on Board of Ed, and I got to admire your work on Board of Ed, especially when you became chair, at a time when it was pretty controversial, and you were going through some pretty tough stuff, and you handled it so well, and it really helped move the Board of Ed forward at that point. And then you came onto council, and I got to see you really in action. You exhibited the best traits of a council person. You were thoughtful, well-prepared, and brave. The Mayor mentioned your work to create a civilian police review board. I used to serve on one many years ago, and I knew how hard that was. And the work you did really is a wonderful legacy that you've left our town. And to do so at the same time as you were earning the respect and admiration of the police and fire is really an achievement, and not a lot of people could do that. So that balance was just a real achievement. And it's simply not going to be the same without you on council. And I consider myself really lucky to have had the chance to run with you and to serve with you. So thank you very much for your leadership, your service to our town, and your friendship.
Thank you, Mr. Winograd. Ms. Pullen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Carol, Like Councilor Zdanowicz, I've had the honor and the luck to serve with you both on the Board of Education and Town Council. For those who don't know, Carol is always very well prepared, and she likes to take a lot of notes by hand. So I used to sit next to her at the Board of Ed table, and she would like fill this notebook with all of her notes and questions, and then always ask really good questions. And so I really learned right by your side as your vice chair on the board, and missed you when you moved over to town council, so I figured I would just follow you on over here and learn from you some more. So thank you for your commitment to West Hartford, and I hope you enjoy your next phase. I hope to
Thank
see you
you.
soon.
Thank you, Ms. Bill and Ms. McGinnis.
Through you, Madam Mayor. So to start with, I just want to tell a little story that speaks to Carol's calm, or counselor, her calm demeanor. I had not been on council long, and we went to an event for police and fire. And afterwards, we were outside having a conversation with Chief Riddick, and we went to leave, and Chief Riddick was like, "Oh, let me walk you to your car, Councilor McGinnis." And we go to walk to my car, and as we're walking, I look and I see a parking ticket on the window of my car. And this is the first time that I've ever had a conversation with Chief Riddick. So I'm thinking to myself, do I pretend like I'm getting into another car so that he doesn't see the ticket? So there was an awkward exchange where I got in the car. I immediately called Carol, and I'm like, "Carol, you must get in touch with Chief Riddick, and please tell him that I am not a lawless town councilor who thinks that I can park wherever I want without any repercussions." And Carol's like, "I really don't think he's going to think that." But I just wanted to say that to speak to your thoughtful, calm demeanor on the council is going to be missed greatly. You've definitely made this council a better place and this town a better place. And I know that you share my commitment to listen to those who don't feel heard and to see those who don't feel seen. So I'm really going to miss you. We'll miss your guidance on public safety. I also made her go through every line of the public safety budget, the first budget I had. And she did it without even an exasperated sigh, at least while we were on the phone. I wish you all the best, and I'm glad that you're finally going to get to travel to your heart's content and do whatever you want to do and not have to worry about those 8 a.m. Committee meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McGinnis. Mr. Walters.
Thank you, and through you, Madam Mayor. So, true story, and I may not be remembering it well, but before I ran for council, the godfather or godmother, Carol, sat me down at a local restaurant, and we had a conversation, and I felt like I got to get past her before I can be on council. So I'm glad that we had that conversation 2+ years ago, and I'm glad that you didn't go back and tell everybody, "No way, Jose." But anyways, Carol, this is a thank you and certainly not a goodbye. I thank you for your many years of dedicated service, just as everybody else has done. I'm not going to belabor that, but you have, between the state, the Board of Education, the town council, you've put some years in here. You have no doubt made a lasting impact on our community. You've been an incredible neighbor right here, and you've been a true mentor. I'm grateful for all that you've given me and to West Hartford, and I think I'm comfortable saying that your future holds time for your family, especially your daughters, more travel, and hopefully much relaxation. I know I have some big shoes to fill with public safety, and I don't think I'm going to get the benefit of going line to line through the budget. All I'm going to see is your back as you leave. And with no doubt, though, I will track you down. I know where you live and confer with you. Thank you, Carol. I will miss you.
Thank you, Mr. Walters. Ms. Blanks.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you to everyone. You know, as I was preparing for this day, it was with really much anticipation because I knew all of this was going to be happening. But what I didn't know was the pleasant surprise from the PD and the FD. So you all have to join me and shout out to our public safety officers. What they do for us and keep us safe in this town each and every day. I admire them, I pray for them, and I want each and every one of them to keep one another safe and to watch each other's back. So I know that the hour is late, and so I am going to be as quick as I possibly can, but I do think it's very important that I acknowledge the folks that I'm about to before I step off this council. So it's just sort of my point of privilege. So the newbies, you just have to bear with me. So first, I do want to thank our esteemed town manager, Rick Ledwith. And as was mentioned before, we go back a ways from the Board of Ed. And really, Rick, your calm demeanor is just so much to be admired. As the man in charge, you set the overall tone for the town staff by fostering an environment of trust and mutual respect. You bring out the best in your staff and others through your professionalism, being responsive to the community's concerns and complaints, and open to solutions that everyone can embrace. I just thank you so much for your service and what you bring. And to our Corporation Counsel, Dallas Dodge, thank you for what you bring to this council table. You are smart, knowledgeable, you're available to answer calls, and you provide information that is very critical for decision-making and will have a lasting impact on the town legally. So thank you for your service. Leon, thank you for keeping our meetings structured and guiding it to move along in a formal manner while conducting the business of the town. Pretty good for a first time in this role as our clerk. All right, now I wanted to go in order, so just bear with me a bit. Barry, Town Councilor Walters, thank you for underscoring with great emphasis of how decisions made here will affect our residents, our youth, families, but especially the families that are struggling with less resources, food insecurity, housing, healthcare. We're all in this together, so let's meet people where they are to provide the assistance that they need. And thank you for stepping in to be a change maker. Councilor McGinnis, thank you for advocating for residents who are experiencing challenges, especially women, informing those on how to be empowered and notifying the town when issues arise in your neighborhood and nearby neighborhoods as well. As you are made aware, all while doing due diligence to keep taxes manageable, continue to do so to keep our town number one. Town Councilor Poland, Deputy Mayor-elect, what I love about you is that you look broadly at an issue and think of the impact it will have on businesses, families, the school district, and continue to ask the question, what can we do differently to bring down cost or provide relief? What's the possibility of considering a different approach? I know you will continue the hard work of doing what's reasonable and manageable for our town, especially as you embrace your new position as Deputy Mayor. Deputy Mayor Winograd, thank you for your commitment to the town and shining the spotlight on affordable housing, introducing more options for housing, the great work you introduced on the ADUs, advocating for cyclist safety where we created separate lanes because we can share and still remain safe. Keep advocating for unionized workers and workplace safety, an issue important to all of us. And Mayor Sherry Cantor, the graceful leader, you work tirelessly to keep West Hartford the #1 medium-sized town of Connecticut. You are a consensus builder, a change agent, and collaborator, and so much more, who leads with professionalism during challenging times like now, and not so challenging times. You provide opportunities for everyone to provide input and to be part of a solution where it is beneficial for everyone, not just a chosen few. You are well respected, as you should. You've earned your title. Our town is very different today than it was 21 years ago. You feel the buzz, the beat, or perhaps it is just energy. Many accomplishments were achieved under your leadership. And now, I am humbled and grateful that God chose me to experience this journey. Thank you all for all the kind words. I want to thank my family who began this journey with me, my husband, Charles, my daughters, Shannon, Cynthia, and Kay, which is the reason I began the journey of politics in the first place. My brother, Everton, Everett is what everybody else calls him. Family is Everton. And sister-in-law, Sharon, my close friends who supported me every step of the way, and the residents of West Hartford, as well as our impeccable town staff. Before I earned the support of the voters, my goal was to improve vacant and unattractive spaces and grow our grand list. Support resources for public safety, where our community feels safe, inside and outside their residence, businesses and school districts, and support our school district where West Hartford remains a top district. I believe I accomplished the goal. Again, thank you all for what you do, and thank you for showing up tonight.
For the enormous contribution that all of these counselors have contributed, they get a chair. And on the back of the chair is their years of service. So I'm just going to read that. I don't know. Mary Fay, Town Council, 11/2017 to 11/2025. Minority Leader, 11/2021 to 11/23. Congratulations, Mary. Thank you. Carol Blanks, Town Council, 11/2019 to 11/2025. Do you have a separate one with the board? Another chair? Do you have a pair? We have a match. Mark Sedano, it's also a pair. Town Council, 11/21 to 11/25, and then Minority Leader, 11/23 to 11/25. And then Alberto Cortez, 2021 to 2025. Congratulations to all of you. All right. We're going to just take a brief recess and move some seats around. Thank you so much. New town councilors, please assume your positions, your seats. Old town councilors, move your butts.
There's a form to fill out. Two forms.
Okay, we now are at number 2. Mr. Davidoff. This is the certification of election of councilors in town elections, November 4th, 2025, and presentation of certificates to each councilor. Mr. Davidoff.
Good evening, Madam Mayor. I, Leon S. Davidoff, Town Clerk of the Town of West Hartford, do hereby certify that the following persons were elected to the West Hartford Town Council for a term from November 18th, 2025 to November 16th, 2027. And they are Sherry Cantor, Gail Harris, Lisa Lazarus, John Lyons, Tiffany McGinnis, Deb Pullen, Barry Walters, C.G. Jason Wang, Ben Winograd. I further testify that the results of the town election were canvassed and attested to by the head moderator of the election, Umesh Thekar, and the results have been recorded in the electors' meeting book of the town of West Hartford. You could all rise and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly affirm, as the case may be, that you will faithfully discharge according to law your duties as a member of the West Hartford Town Council to the best of your ability, so help you God, or on penalty of perjury?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Davidoff. Okay, and now we call for the leadership. We call nomination for council president. Is there a nomination for council president? Okay, Mr. Winograd.
Thank you. Tonight, I get the honor and pleasure of doing something special for the town of West Hartford. Over the past 10 years, I've had a front row seat to true leadership. From stabilizing our finances through our unique pension obligation bond sale, guiding the town through the COVID crisis, increasing our supply of affordable housing, initiating our Vision Zero plan, and most recently encouraging an unparalleled donations to our food bank in the face of the SNAP emergency, Sherry Cantor has been able to both bring in new ideas and inspire our community to follow her path. She is intelligent, compassionate, and deeply responsive to the needs of our residents. We, of course, like to brag about our top rankings in various national surveys, including that weird college town one that came out last week. And credit for these is certainly shared among many participants in our civic life. But it is no coincidence that our rise corresponds to her occupancy of that chair. We are a better place for her time in office, and I have no doubt that her continued leadership will serve the town well. It is thus with admiration for her past service and great anticipation for what comes next that I nominate Sherry Cantor as council president.
Thank you, Mr. Winograd. You're going to choke me up. Mr. Walters. Second. Is there a second? Mr. Walters.
Thank you. I am proud to second the nomination for Sherry G. Cantor for president of the West Hartford Town Council. Sherry brings unmatched energy, heart, and commitment to West Hartford. She listens, she leads, and she delivers. From strengthening our schools to investing in every corner of town, Sherry keeps us moving forward. I am honored to second Mayor Sherry Cantor. She is someone who makes West Hartford stronger every single day.
Thank you, Mr. Walters. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And call for Council Vice President. Is there a motion? Ms. McGinnis.
Through you, Madam Mayor. I am proud to nominate Councilor Deb Poland for the position of Council Vice President. Deb approaches this work with thoughtfulness, preparation, and a steady commitment to serving our community. She listens, she asks good questions, and she consistently works toward practical solutions that help West Hartford residents. I know Deb will bring that same steadiness and dedication to the role of Deputy Mayor, Council Vice President. She understands the responsibilities of this position, and she is ready to take them on. It is my honor to put her name into nomination.
Thank you, Ms. McGinnis. Is there a second? Okay. Oh, thank you
know.
so
My
Awesome.
first,
Ms. Lazarus.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I am honored to nominate Councilor Deb Poland for Council Vice President of West Hartford. Deb brings a combination of pragmatism and optimism that residents value most. She's practical, data-driven, and solution-oriented, and speak with a hopeful voice that reminds us what's possible when a community comes together. Deb listens, studies the issues, collaborates effectively, and turns real challenges into real progress. And on a side note, knowing that she is the youngest in her family as well, I know that she will be a fierce advocate, yes, for what she believes in. I love that. West Hartford deserves a leader like you who clearly sees the potential of the town and its residents and works every day to realize that. Happy to nominate Councilor Poland.
Thank you, Ms. Lazarus. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we will go to appointment of Council Clerk. Ms. Pullen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that we appoint Leon Davidoff as the council clerk.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Davidoff. And now we will go to appointment of council committees. And I will read through them quickly. They are posted on our website. Council Affairs and Governance Committee, Sherry Cantor, Chair, Deb Pullen, Vice Chair, John Lyons will be on that committee too. Finance and Administration, Deb Pullen, Chair, Ben Wenigred, Vice Chair, and John Lyons. Human and Community Services, Ben Wenigred, Chair, Lisa Lazarus, Vice Chair, Jason Wang. Community Planning and Economic Development, Tiffany McGinnis, Chair, Barry Walters, Vice Chair, and John Lyons. Public Works Facilities and Sustainability Committee, Lisa Lazarus, Chair, Deb Pullen, Vice Chair, Gail Harris. Public Safety Committee, Barry Walters, Chair, Tiffany McGinnis, Vice Chair, and Gail Harris. All right, and there is no motion for that. And then a resolution adopting standing rules of the Town Council for 2025-2027 term. I'd like a motion.
So moved, Madam Mayor.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Attorney Dodge, can you please explain?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Before I begin, on behalf of my office, I would like to congratulate all of you on your election to the Town Council and thank all of the outgoing Town Council members for their service. It really has been a pleasure serving with all of you. Madam Mayor, I would like to briefly just begin by outlining my role, especially for the new council members. The Corporation Council serves as the chief legal advisor to the Town Council, as well as all town departments, boards, and commissions. I serve by appointment of the Town Council, and the date of my reappointment will be set at your next Town Council meeting. By tradition and precedent, I also serve as the parliamentarian for the Town Council. However, I want to note that my role in that regard is strictly advisory. The mayor, as the president of the council, serves as the final arbiter of any challenges to the rules, subject to appeal to the council at large. Before I begin describing the rules, Madam Mayor, there's one housekeeping matter. All of you have in front of you a form that is a waiver of a requirement that we provide you with paper copies of all notices, which are agendas, applications, that sort of thing. It's going to take me about 90 seconds to get through what I'm going to say, and that's the perfect amount of time for everybody to fill out the form and make sure that they get it to the town clerk before they leave tonight. If you don't do that, you will be receiving weekly mail with large packets of information. If you would like to continue to receive that, that of course is your privilege. But I think the electronic method is far preferable. Madam Mayor, Section 3 of Chapter 3 of the Town Charter provides that the Town Council shall determine its own rules of procedure, what we commonly refer to as the Council's standing rules, and these rules govern the conduct of business at Town Council meetings. Before you is a resolution adopting the standing rules for the 2025 to 2027 term. I will not provide a detailed summary, as these rules are identical to the ones that were adopted by the previous council, with the exception of updated dates. Although the standing rules may be adopted by a majority of those who are present and voting, they may only be amended and suspended by a 2/3 vote of the town council members who are present and voting. Just as a final note, my office does review the standing rules at the end of each council term to determine whether we have any recommendations to improve the efficiency of the town council's meetings. Because it's not possible to review those recommendations before the new council is actually sworn in, we will continue working on those and then propose them to the governance committee for recommendation to the town council if you so choose. With that, Madam Mayor, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have about the standing rules.
Thank you, Mr. Dodge. The question is on the adoption of the resolution, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And we will go to letter H, resolution setting town council meeting dates.
Madam Mayor, I move that we adopt the resolution setting the town council meeting dates for the 25 through 27 term.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Mr. Davidoff, could you briefly explain this?
Good evening, Madam Mayor. First, I'd like to thank the town council for appointing me for another term as council clerk. It's an honor to serve in this capacity. You should have all received a packet of information with respect to the dates for the town council meetings for the next 2 calendar years. We're required to come to a vote prior to January 15th so that everyone will have an understanding. Traditionally, meetings of the town council take place the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of every month, but there are exceptions for a variety of reasons. The exceptions and revisions to the meeting schedule should be noted that in April of 2026 and April of 2027, the meeting will be the first Tuesday because the second Tuesday is school vacation week, and the council traditionally does not meet during school vacation week. You'll also notice on the calendar that the dates for the months of July and August, where the council meets at an earlier time, have not been set, but they will be set. The council meets once per in July and once in August, and there's probably not a date set for December either. If there is, I apologize. But the other date that has changed is in 2027. The meeting will be on Monday, April 19th. It's 2 days before the start of the Passover holiday. That is also budget adoption night, so it's a very big night. It sometimes goes late, and we thought that we would push it out 2 days, 2 evenings before the start of Passover, so those that celebrate can make holiday preparations. Those were the explanations for the calendar. I'd be glad to entertain any questions, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Davidoff. Are there any questions for Mr. Davidoff? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And letter I, Ms. Pullen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that we adopt a resolution setting the town council meeting dates for December 2025.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Mr. Davidoff, do you want to just do a brief explanation on that? I don't know if people know the date has changed.
Yes, the meeting was originally scheduled for December the 9th, 2025. However, due to some conflicts, the meeting has been rescheduled for Wednesday, December 17th. There will be 3 public hearings that evening, so it will start, I believe, at 6:30, maybe the first public hearing. So the evening that you're keeping and voting on this evening is Wednesday, December 17th, which will be the last council meeting of this calendar year.
Thank you, Mr. Davidoff. Any questions on that? Okay. The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Then we have communications. Communication from John Lyons. Ms. Pullen, sorry.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Without objection, I move that we receive a communication from John Lyons, resigning as a Town Plan and Zoning Commission alternate, effective November 6, 2025.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any objection? Okay, seeing and hearing no objection, the motion is adopted, and we will go to the next item. Ms. Pullen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Without objection, I move that we receive a communication from Lisa Lazarus, resigning as a Town Council zoning alternate, effective November 7, 2025.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any objection? There being no objection, the motion is now adopted. We are now, the next item on the agenda is announcements, but we aren't going to do announcements tonight. Traditionally, the president of the council does a little charge, and I just want to start by welcoming our new town councilors, Gail Harris, Jason Wang, John Lyons, and Lisa Lazarus. We are so grateful that you put your name in for public service and are willing to serve the community. And I want to thank your families in the audience for supporting you and understanding the commitment that our town councilors make to elected office. So I appreciate and welcome the families, and we will get to know you over time. So that's so wonderful. One of the wonderful benefits of serving together. I want to do a thank you to Lorna Thomas Farquharson and Claire Nasarella, and thank them for their service on the Board of Education, and welcome Jason Gagnon for re-election, Jennifer Hertz-Helmrich, and Jonathan Weiner, and Marianne Blake also for onto the Board of Education. We had a lengthy goodbye to our fellow town councilors, so I don't need to. I'm not going to mention that again. But hopefully you were all here and heard that. So tonight, as we swear in this new town council, we're reminded why West Hartford continues to shine. This year, we were ranked 19th best place to live in the nation and #1 in Connecticut. We share pride in this recognition, but we know this did not happen by accident. It is the result of years of intentional choices and disciplined work grounded in strong investments in public safety, world-class schools, and modern, resilient infrastructure. It is because of our highly professional town staff, and I just want to give another recognition to the town manager. Thank you so much for your incredible commitment and your professional leadership, and we're so lucky to have you. And because our councils have consistently respected their roles, collaborated productively, and kept the focus on what matters most, serving our entire community. As we begin this new term together, I want to offer a simple but meaningful charge. We can continue to grow our grand list in smart, strategic ways through adaptive reuse of existing properties and thoughtful redevelopment of underutilized properties that grows our tax base, enhances our community fabric, and adds to vibrancy and strengthens our long-term fiscal health. This will continue to expand housing choices while improving affordability and accessibility for residents at every stage of life. We must continue our commitment to making our roads safer for all users, advancing Vision Zero, and ensuring our whole community benefits from thoughtful design and infrastructure improvements. And we must stay committed to affordability and efficiency, delivering excellent services while being prudent stewards of taxpayer dollars. That balance is not easy, but it is essential, and West Hartford has long been a leader in getting it right. As a runner and a competitor, I know you can never win a race by standing still. We must keep moving forward strategically, deliberately, and always with the long view ahead. Tonight marks both a continuation of our strong tradition of service and a renewal of our shared commitment to the people of West Hartford. We enter this new term in a moment of volatility, locally, nationally, and globally. We will face challenges, both known and unknown, but I am confident that we can meet them with clarity, collaboration, and purpose if we work together. This moment calls for partnership, respect, and a shared commitment to the common good. I'm confident that together we will continue to meet the high expectations our community has for us and we have for ourselves. Thank you and congratulations to all of our newly sworn-in councilors. And I'm going to end with a Dr. Seuss quote. Unless someone like you cares an awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So thank you very much. And we will now, without objection, I move that we adjourn. Is there any objection? We are now adjourned. Thank you very much.